This edition of Fly Fish takes us to a few of the many spring creeks located where the states of Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa come together. They are intimate waters woven through the fabric of America's pastoral heartland. Brown and brook trout are abundant and often eager to a hatch and susceptible to trickery. This can make for an entertaining exploration of a fishery, especially when your angling partner is so familiar with the surroundings. We are fortunate to have just such a partner for today's host, Kelly Galloup. Andrew Sobota calls these spring creeks in the extreme southeastern corner of Minnesota his home waters. A local high school chemistry teacher in nearby Lanesboro, Andy, when not teaching, is often out here learning the techniques and patterns that will fool these beautiful little trout. Andy will stay with us to do one of his favorite patterns for these waters, his version of the Crippled Caddis. He is better known for the intricate and extravagant Atlantic salmon flies he crafts, but as you will see, he puts just as much skill and precision into this trout offering.
Well, finally made it back to your neck of the woods. Well, pretty neat.
It was about time.
Pretty neat. Just how long have you had buds coming? 2-3 weeks?
About 3 weeks now since things started to green up. The last rain really made a difference.
It's nice of you to bring the wind for me too. I miss it.
Well, I try and help people out. I think that's important.
It's a nice thing.
So, I do what I can. And
Where are we? What are we heading to here?
this is Rush Creek. We're just a little bit south of I-90 in southeastern Minnesota.
Is this typical of what we're going to be fishing? All this?
This is a limestone spring creek, which is quite typical of the area. There's quite a few number of miles of them, within probably 50 square miles of where we are currently.
Are we going to be fishing a hatch? Are we going to be fishing blind? Where are we going to?
Well, hopefully with the cloudy weather, we'll get some olives, perhaps some Hendricksons. Both of those are, coming right now. They've been here for maybe 2 weeks. They're going to continue, and then we'll get some caddis. The Mother's Day Granum hatch will come pretty quick. That's always a favorite. But today I'm hoping for some olives.
You say you got hundreds of miles of these creeks. I know we asked that farmer up there if we could come through. What's the general access like around here?
In general, it's real good. There's public easement on most of the water that's productive water.
Wow, this is really beautiful. I said I had no idea that it was going to be like this. I thought there were going to be little creeks. There's a fish feeding right tight to the bank already.
Saw one
up there.
bulge right up there.
What's the access like? I mean, is it like, can you wade up the river? Do you have an access on the bank, an easement? What do you got here?
The easement runs, I think, typically from the center of the river out. We're granted a corridor along the river with certain access points above and below. And a lot of the farmers are willing to let you access, relatively, we walk more or less across the field there.
Right. Like we were talking yesterday, 98% of the fishing is done on 2% of the water. Same thing here, you got these to yourself a lot?
Well, this one would see a little bit more pressure. It's
because it's bigger?
It's bigger, it's relatively well known. It's certainly not a secret. There are a lot of bodies of water that don't get the pressure. And hopefully we'll get to fish a little bit of each. Just take a look at the differences. Sure. You're looking at habitat work here that the DNR did. They've done an excellent.
All the rock work over there.
All the rock work. They've done an excellent job. The the key thing I think with the habitat is to have it, not get blown out by floods. Be good and stable within the confines of the environment they're working with, and make it look relatively natural.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that was, maybe down below a little bit, but it could easily just be how it always is.
They do wonderful, wonderful work.
Andy, I'm going to run a couple foot of 6X. Is that going to be light enough?
I would say that's an excellent choice. I'm doing the exact same thing myself.
All right, probably just going to start with a blue wing olive cripple or something like that. What are you gonna have on?
I've got a fly I've been playing with. It's a little bit of an emerger. It's based off of some of Gary LaFontaine stuff. I've done okay on it so far, but it's got a lot of work to go.
It's interesting with the orange and nothing matching. I like the orange.
You don't see a lot of orange in the stream, but I can see it at.
Yeah, really.
My eyes aren't quite they used to be.
I'm going to start with just my biot cripple. It's actually, I mean, you're the one that put the biot on this. My cripple with the bent hook, that's the one I originally did that I dubbed, and you're the one that put the biots on them. And I changed it and put the CDC wing on it.
I noticed CDC.
But it's just, this is just the old, I've had this
different
fly for
version
quite a
of the
while.
same.
It's just been dressed up by you young guys. Are the fish really selective? I mean, you're not going to see a lot of traffic here, I wouldn't think.
Sometimes it's like, well, fish are fish, and fish do what they want. Sometimes they seem to be really selective. Usually it's a presentation game.
Yeah, I would guess most spring creeks.
It's a size game, and if they're eating something small and you're throwing something small, and you get it in front of them, they'll eat. 18
most of the day, you think? 18?
I would say 8.
Blowing owls.
Our owls would be about an 18. If we see a Hendrickson, then of course the size goes up.
Are we going to run basically just a dry fly? Are we going to run a dry fly dropper? I mean, what do you think?
I typically like to give the fish a choice. Sometimes they want to look up, and if they're going to eat on top, then I'll take a dropper off.
Right.
In the meantime, I like to go with both. I like to put my dropper. We don't have a lot of depth in the creek, so I run my dropper typically 2.5 feet.
I'm going to just start with a single dry, just because I saw some fish rising.
I got a single one on right now too.
All right. So I saw one rise on that, right at that tail out.
This is a nice little pool. We got a good foam line coming into it.
When you say little pool, what is it, 40, 50 yards? I mean, I can't see around it.
Well,
being height challenged.
There's a rock at the upper end there. That's kind of what would be the head of this pool. It's kind of 2 stages. There's a little bit of a gravel bar in the middle of it, so it's more or less 2 separate pools. And this guy, riffle comes in. We've got structure and depth in the far bank, outside bend where we'd expect it, and we have foam coming in, and we'll start off at the bottom end, see if there's anything tailing out toward the back, and we'll explore our way up, keeping I would say center left of the stream and into that foam. You seen any olive shucks in the water? If you look down,
haven't seen anything.
You got midges all around you. There's fluttering by here and there, not real heavy.
There was a nice fish just fed up at the top. Now, I asked you earlier, and I think I interrupted you, but how many fish do you think are going to be in a pool this size?
I'd say probably at the bottom end, 30 to 40.
The low end of the count, 30
Low end
to
of the
40
count, 30 to 40.
And those are anywhere from 5 to
14 inches would be probably, 14 on the large side, 5 on the small side with plenty 7 to 8 inches. And now and then you'll find hulks, true hulks. Now, do you typically like, when you're fishing smaller water, do you prefer a double taper or do you prefer a weight forward?
I prefer a double taper for every single thing I do.
Okay, man after my own heart.
One, they're pretty expensive nowadays, and if you think about this whole casting, we're talking 30 feet. Well, there's no place right here I'm going to fish 30 feet.
No.
I've got 12 foot of leader and 7 foot of rod, so there's 20 feet, so that means I only need 10 or 15 feet of fly line. Well, they're almost identical to that, distance, a weight forward and a double taper.
You start factoring in your leader length.
Arm reach and leader length, and there's a pretty good one up at the top feeding too. Well, I shouldn't say I'm positive I can see him. I think I see him. That's Gene. This is starting to look a lot like that. I think I'm looking at him.
Oh.
Oh, it's a shadow.
You got a hook on that thing?
Guy's starting to wonder.
Last night you were telling me about a friend who cuts all the barb or the whole bend of the hook off because he likes to see the rise, and I'm wondering if
I'm doing the same thing.
You're doing the same thing.
Wow, that one got pushed. So that's why I'm letting those little fish go. I don't want to lose my spot. You think I'm just missing them, but that's not the case.
That was a fish, it looked like.
Where?
One just followed your fly out of the water.
Oh, look at this whopper. That's a little brown trout. This hurts. He's pretty.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous little fish in here. most of the, probably 98% of the fish we'll catch today are going to be brown trout.
Mm-hmm.
Odd that you'll catch a rainbow, odd that you catch a brookie, but both of them do exist. The drought seems to have affected the brookies more so than it's affected the browns. Creeks that 3 years ago I was fishing and maybe it was 8 out of 10 fish are brookies. It's now 8 out of 10 fish are browns, and those are big browns.
Well, it's really amazing to me. I mean, I'm going to give it up to jet lag or something, but in that 6 foot, I got the one and then another one, but lost 6 more fish, and I didn't move. Typical of the area. Wisconsin's virtually identical. Northern Iowa's virtually identical. The number of these sorts of creeks in the Midwest is greater than anyone would ever guess. I think for a lot of people my age that started when fly fishermen first came out, there was a lot of you saw these articles on the spring creeks of the East a lot, and there's a lot of mystique for just to see the pictures, all the classic, the Latort, and Big Spring and stuff like that. Yeah, these, I think the Midwest has oftentimes been compared to the Pennsylvania that never happened. Oh, that isn't good. First one. That's all right. You look like you're about a spaghetti bowl. It was nice. That was well executed. What do you got, that little orange? It's the little orange merger I've been working on. And that's at least the second or third fish it's caught now. I'm half tempted to go to a dry dropper, like a parachute with a there you go, small nymph underneath. Is that brown trout? Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, that's it looked like it was a couple foot lower. I think maybe that's a different fish. Yeah. He's a real pretty fish. Let me see. Into me. Oh yeah. Classic brown trout. He's just gorgeous. Got nice par marks. Is that typical on the size? Low end, high end, middle range? I would say this is on probably the lower end average by a little bit. His color, in my opinion, adequately makes up for the fact that he's a little bit short on the scale. It reminds me of you, but he's colorful. Hurts. In a couple weeks you're going to be working for me again, and I'm going to have to fire you for that. But lucky for you, I've got a. I thought lucky for you, like my stature, I have a short memory as well. I was going to say I didn't think you could fire people you didn't pay. Well, don't let that get out. All right, I think that one's still up there. I'm going to try for that one. Go tag him. I got to redress my fly here, and it's rare to find a seat this comfortable in one of these creeks, but you've already got it patted down nicely for me. All righty, here. Well, the good thing about being on this side is that there's a little bit more silt, so it doesn't hurt the old guy knees as bad. Now, I've got the whopper. I was just about to say that it's beautiful. Wow, he's gorgeous. Easy. Wow, look at this one. Wow. That's just, for me growing up, this was my entire life, was fishing for fish this size. Creek fish. What do you got on? I put on a sparkle pupa. I want to see if they're going to look at a big flashy bubble up top. Why don't? Because I know I actually was starting to cast again. I still think that one nicer fish is right underneath there. And I should be penalized. I would just stay right where you are. I wouldn't even move if I were you. Well, I have to straighten my legs up. That should be perfect. Oh, I was looking at a real one. See, that wasn't you. He took that real. I was looking at the real caddis. Did you see what he ate? Yeah. Caddis? He ate a caddis. I said yours is perfect, and your fly was downstream of that one. Okay, 15 I'm going to rest him for just a sec. Take a couple shots up here in the riffle. Now, for me, I say you just, you got 6 perfect casts, and there's no drag. What I would do in this situation is what you've just already done while I'm talking is, if I know I've got good casts, good drifts, I know that I haven't dragged it, I'm gonna try 2 or 3 different things. I'm gonna try casting dead drift, maybe a little motion, but if I know I've got a half dozen, I'm out. I am out with that fly. Maybe a dozen casts, I don't know, but I frequently see people sit and pound the same fly
over and over and over.
And you're not gonna, and I call it willing the fish, you're not gonna will him up. He can't, once he's seen it 50 times.
I've got on a, it's one of my better thievery jobs of one of your flies, a crippled caddis instead of a crippled mayfly with a
CDC wing?
It's got a CDC wing, but over the top of it's got kind of a hard, plasticky sort of wing.
See, it's amazing. We fished where the fish are starting to feed again, and they're actually bigger fish than we caught in the first hour we were in this little pool, which is another amazing thing. We've been in this pool for an hour and a half.
And we still got rising
fish. Got fish, well, we got new fish rising.
Yeah.
Which just tells you how healthy this river is. I mean,
the ecosystem is a pretty staggering ecosystem. It kicks out, the insect life here is, it's a great, the biomass of these streams is pretty incredible. And paying attention to my rod tip, not the fly, and nothing's going on, and I can't seem to pull it off.
I'm curious here. Did you have a whole box of those flies without hooks? Oh, there's one with a hook in it. Attaboy.
Well,
look at how bright he is. Is that a rainbow?
Yeah. You call me to the carpet, and I'm gonna produce.
Wow.
He's just a gorgeous fish. Looked like he's been roughed up in some rocks a little bit, but there's that white vermiculation, and it's already starting to show on a fish that looks like he's about 6.5 inches long. You got that pretty little red adipose fin, just gorgeous.
That's my favorite.
Gorgeous fish.
I mean, I know we've had 30 fish show in this pool right now. I'm just amazed at this. I mean, and I always figure if you're lucky if you get half the fish to show. Everything about them is perfect. Their spots, it's just, I've often told people, you look at the fish's fins, they're like indicators of their health, their overall health. If their fins are clean and full, and you've got a healthy fish. I mean, we haven't moved, and it's just amazing. I would have never, and granted they haven't been really big fish. We've had a couple of 10 to 12s, but just the numbers is incredible. And we haven't had there's no specific hatch. You'd say, well, you aren't getting very big fish, but we've had a couple nice fish, but we don't have anything, I don't care if you're in Montana or wherever, without a really heavy hatch, and we've still had 30 fish come up. I mean, it's just amazing to me. And I would have never in a million years guessed this was, I mean, you're just and we've seen so many of these cricks, it's just incredible. And I think it keeps getting me that we haven't moved 30 feet. Come on. Oop. He's a hopper. I'll get up here a little bit so he doesn't go through this. Oh.
We've seen caddis, the little granum. We've seen Kelly miss lots of fish. We've seen me miss lots of fish. Seen some olives.
Well, that's 4 fish hooked in this little
bathtub-sized pool.
Yeah. That'd be a big bathtub.
Yeah.
Put your caddis up there. Oh, I see him. He's nymphing.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me a bit. That CDC is a little bit bigger than I want it to be right now.
Oh, good shot. Beauty. Guess he liked the caddis.
That one did.
Perfect color as usual.
Yeah, I'll stick this guy into a net. Come here.
Wow.
You know, not much for white banding on the fins, but just a
He's starting to on his tail.
Gorgeous fish.
What are we going to go ahead and
Well,
go up there again and see if you
Alright,
can.
I gotta.
Because we still haven't got to that right side of that eddy where I saw him. There was a couple a little bit bigger ones in there. I know I saw that. Although the way they were racing around in that pool, I can't imagine they'd be eating dry flies. But they were acting like they were spawners. You know, the way they, like males chasing each other. But there's no. They're all browns. I don't know why they would be doing that. It's neat to see, though.
Oh, a little bit better fish.
They're all good.
He's real pretty.
It's all good. Isn't that funny how when they first jumped, they looked like silver. That's a nice one.
Well,
That thing looked like a rainbow when he was jumping.
His spotting patterns are so vastly different than the last fish. You know, he's
Yeah.
nothing at all. He's much darker, very little red,
Right.
you know, but just a gorgeous fish.
I think I'm gonna give him a caddis.
You know, I think that's a good
Jumping
idea.
on that thing, it's. If I was doing this for myself, you know, or if I was guiding someone, I'd start on the inside and work. I'd either, you know, I'd take it and step it out. How do you break it down? I mean, for me personally, I would take this inside soft water first, and I'd go to the middle, and I'd just keep going to the right.
I'd follow the radius the whole way around the pool.
What I'm trying to avoid is, all you're saying is what you're trying to avoid is lining over top of something.
To get to something.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. Well, fish the water as you come across it. You know, when in doubt, throw a couple casts in there. You know, and if we would have just jumped up and fished the hole, kind of where you're fishing now, the deepest water, and we would have probably pushed those fish in, and it would have been game over.
I heard a great story once about he was fishing with Joe Brooks, and there was Joe and this father and this son, and the son was this hot shoe angler of the time, and he wanted to impress Joe Brooks, so he gets there first. You know, they're all getting ready, and he wades through the river, and he double hauls this big cast and pops one out there, boom, and he gets this fish, and he's like, comes back and he says to Joe, he says, "What do you think of that?" And he goes, "That was something." He says, "You waded through the first third, and you cast through the second third, so at least you didn't ruin the last third." And that can happen, you know. It's like boom, 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 1, 2, 3. I think we can do the upper end there. Yeah, we've been out here 4 or 5 hours, haven't seen a soul, haven't heard anything, this is just far better than I expected.
No, good.
It's really something. You know, most of your life you're taught to
Dead drift.
everything's about getting a dead drift, and you know, I fished behind this guy one time and just put a trouncing on me. And I was far enough behind him, you know, we're together, but I was far enough behind him that I couldn't see that he was.
Whoop. Is that a good fish?
I couldn't tell. Felt like a nice one. But I was far enough behind him that I couldn't see that he was just trying to move the fly an inch. You know, he would just skate it just enough. And if you've ever watched a caddis when they first come off the water, if they ride it, they just bounce around, and they're flopping their wings, and they're running, trying to get, I don't know, and divers, you know, egg layers do exactly the same thing. But there's a lot of commotion from caddis.
You got a little bit of room to step out left.
Oh, I'm in perfect position. I can't even see. There.
Like that?
That wasn't the one. There's one. See if he'll see that point of grass. He's actually in front of the blades, but he's right there. You know what this? We're never gonna leave. It's just one more. Look at right here. There's your ant. Right there.
The number of streams in the Midwest here that are like this, little limestone spring creeks, or you know, this is one of the bigger spring creeks. The numbers are staggering, and there's more here than anyone would ever guess. Oh, Kelly, one more body of water here I just had to show you before you guys head off to your next adventure. This is Trout Run. It's one of the prettier streams we have. It's, you know, as you can see, the water is just gorgeous. You know, just sitting here, I've seen a number of fish feeding, and I'm going to take a whack at some of these guys as they're dimpling up there off that rock point and up through that foam line.
I love this watercress. There's that watercress. It's going to grow up, or is it?
There's about 2 or 3 different things. I don't think that's cress per se. You know, there's a handful of different types, but it is beautiful.
I love this, the shelf, and it's a totally different country that we've been in.
Yeah.
Now we're in
Vast,
rocky bottoms, and
now this stream here doesn't, like through here, doesn't have really any sort of man-made work on it. There hasn't been the need for it. You know, areas of this stream have had it, but largely it's it's just free and natural. It's got great depth in places. It's got also a lot of flats in places that really allow someone who's up for that technical challenge to come here and find some heads to cast at. Or we can work up, and there's a whole bunch rising out there. So I say walk up, but be really careful about our wake here, especially once we get into the pool. But I believe you need to catch a couple fish.
Well, it's nice to know that there's more than 3 fish in the river, like the last spot you took me to.
Well, this one might have 4 or 5. I have a rusty spinner on.
I've got a gray-bodied egg sack. I don't know why I picked it, but I think it'll work.
Now, while you're doing that, it's going to sit here. There's one bulging right up there.
I might be a little big on this fly. It's kind of a Hendrickson spinner.
All right. And I've seen a couple go right up off kind of the center of that foamy area. They seem to be right kind of centrally located in there and above.
In the center?
Yeah, they're right up. I think they're probably midging. There's a bunch right in the center. Just saw 2 jump out of the water. Another one just bulged. And another one. Whoop!
Oh, not much of a hook on him.
Those rise farms are kind of hard to peg out. They're coming out of the water, enough to make you think midge. It's cold enough that it's probably not caddis. They seem to be up there about 20, 25 feet, right before that foam makes a hard shot to left, like right up in there.
Yeah. That was almost instant, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think they like that fly. They're just bulging here and there. They're just bulging here and there up there.
He just came under it and refused.
Yep, you just got a refusal.
I wonder if he did that the last time, because I didn't feel him at all, and I wasn't behind him.
You weren't looking down?
No, and I wasn't late on the hit either. I just simply didn't. There's something underneath me right now. I can see him moving. That's that little exploding nymph. Looks more like a He's a beaut.
Nice fish.
Pretty. Look at the color on that thing, man.
Wow. Thing is
He's
gorgeous.
See ya. Ugh. Stuck like a tick in a redneck. Oh, can't say that, can you? There have been fish bulging up there pretty good on the right side of the foam line.
Now here what I'm doing is I'm using that emerger with that bright orange thing as an indicator fly actually.
Mm-hmm.
And about 2 feet below it I put on a little small flashback olive. And that one got blown a little off to the left. Probably have a little bit more leader on than I need. Or maybe not quite enough rod to push it.
I could, for a millisecond. Oh, good job. He coming at me.
Ooh. Ah.
Bad mojo.
Bad mojo. I hear you're familiar with that.
I've had a run in with the bad mojo, man. When you come over to this side, it'll actually suck your fly line down. It'll be fine right there. Now, you know, watch the tip of my line. It's obviously catching my leader and just kind of
sinks it right under.
Right down. See what it's doing right now? He's just pulling it down. We haven't got up to those fish that are where you just cast. There's still another 10 feet above that, I would say. The ones I was watching a second ago. Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, I've fished a lot of places. This is just an amazing fishery, and I had no idea. I mean, I've heard stories, you know, from you and a few other people, but I had no idea there was this type of trout water here. It's just, not only is it beautiful, but the fish are wild, and it's really, I mean, it's challenging, and it's just amazing, all the water that's here.
It's, well, good. You know, get you here a little more often, get you away from that big western water.
Might have trouble keeping me away more than if I could have got the bad mojo can't hook a fish off of me.
Yeah.
I'd have probably been singing pretty loud. But it's just incredible. I love this river. This one's I think even though there was a ton more fish yesterday, this is still,
it's the prettiest.
This is just, oh, did you see that?
No, I missed them.
You should see the fish just running behind you.
I'll believe it.
They're right in front of your feet. They're just running. Shoo, choo, choo, choo. Shoo, those are suckers, some of them. Shoo. Hey, nice fish. Good one. All right. Right up in the head of that thing.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere and just hammered that spinner. Yeah, he's just gorgeous. You know, I could fish for fish like this and just never get sick of it. They're just so neat.
Hey, they're just as tough as any other fish there is. It doesn't matter how big they are.
Come on.
It's a good little.
Yeah, he's a pretty one.
Good job.
Thank you, thank you. I suppose I'll collect the remnants of my last rig out of the tree.
What do you got in there? I see that. Is that today?
Yes.
Oh.
That's about 10 minutes ago before I changed to that spinner.
I'm gonna throw one up there too while we're walking up.
Andy's tie is called a crippled caddis because he bends the hook slightly before starting his tie. It gives the pattern the appearance of an injured bug and is similar to the technique Kelly uses on many of his mayfly offerings.
All right, here we are tying this crippled caddis. Did so well on today. I'm going to start off by dubbing in just a small bit of, it's an antron based, it's actually a blend that I do, just a small bit of dubbing on the back. And this is just to give the tail of this fly just a little bit of sparkle. And I want to just put ever so little bit on, just to start a small taper for the body of this, this fly. So I'm going to slide my dubbing down, take, just a handful of turns just to get that started. I'm going to follow it up by building a little bit more taper with a little bit darker dubbing, just to blend into the rest of the body a little bit. This is a tan dubbing with a little bit of sparkle. I'm just going to kind of add a little bit more there. I'm looking for just a good uniform body on the fly. I'm going to tighten that up, slider, go with a good taper. All right, so I've got my my rear body and the front of my body, a little bit of a split color. I'm going to now follow this up with a microfibet set of antenna, caddis need antenna in my book. Lay this on top and get this tied right off the front. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of a figure eight to open those antennae up ever so slight. Clip my butts off. Now I'm ready for a CDC underwing. This is just a clump of tan CDC that I've plucked and peeled. I'm going to tie this in coming right off the back of the fly and come in here. Just get it kind of coming off. I'm going to trim those butts just a little bit. Now I'm going to figure eight this into just two separate sets of wings. There we go, one turn will do it. All right, so that's my rear wing. I want to clip that to length now, which is just past the bend. Get a little bit of a wing going there. I'm going to follow this up with an overwing, which is a little bit of a synthetic material. It's a sheet. I'm going to tie this also in like a set of spinner wings. And I'm just going to give it one turn there, second turn figure eight. I'm going to bring this back across the top of the hook now. Kind of wrap back on it just to get it to lay back how I want it to lay over that underwing. Just kind of a splayed out wing like a dead spent caddis. This gets followed up with a hackle. This is just a kind of a tan variant hackle. It's got some speckling that I really like the looks of. Give an illusion of a little bit of motion in your fly. Tie this in. Give it enough turns to make sure she's not going anywhere. All right, so there's my hackle. Follow this up with a continuation of my my body into my thorax that I'm going to wrap my dubbing through, or wrap my hackle through the dubbing rather. Just enough to give just a good decent front end of that fly. Alrighty. Give it no more than about 2 turns of hackle here. 2. I'm going to tie my hackle off with about 2 or 3 turns. And I'm going to peel everything back, both my antenna. And I'm going to whip finish this guy off. All right, I can come in here and I can clip off my hackle. And I want to take my antenna and I want to pull them down just a little bit. It's the microfibet synthetic materials. You can reef on it pretty good to get it to drop down. And then I'm going to trim off the bottom of my hackle just a little bit to make sure that thing gets into the water just how I need it to be. That good and spent looking.